Hi, today I'm joined by one of my first guests, Jackie Alice.
Hello.
And this episode will be focused on the question, what's it like being an exchange student in the US?
Interesting stories by interesting people. Stories by Vera V.
Okay, hi. I'm Jackie Alice. I'm 18 years old and I'm currently living in New Jersey, but I'm from Germany actually.
Okay, so the first thing I've been wanting to ask you, I just thought about it. But do you remember your first moment that you set foot in the US?
Okay, so I've been in the US before. Do you want me to talk about being an exchange student in Alabama or my first foot here?
Yeah, whatever you want. But just do you remember the very first moment? Like when you
I
realized
do.
that can you describe it? Because I'm so curious about that.
Okay, so I landed in New York City when I was 15, when I first got to my first exchange year to Alabama. And I was there with my best friend, actually, with my best guy friend. And it was the craziest thing. I looked outside the window and I was like, that's New York City. That doesn't look real. It was so weird. And I loved it. And then we talked to the TSA guys and that was horrifying. But that was the first moment.
Did you notice any major weather differences?
Yeah, it was freaking hot. It was 110 degrees Fahrenheit.
Right?
I don't know how many Celsius, 35, 36, or I don't know, something between Celsius. It was so hot.
Did you come in the summer?
Yeah, it was August.
Yeah, but also, is the humidity different?
Yes. It's so humid, especially in Alabama. It was so bad. I would get a headache every day.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
So for your exchange year, is being an exchange student something you've been wanting to do for a long time, or was it kind of like a random decision?
Going to Alabama was a dream for many years, but my semester right now, going to college in New Jersey, was kind of spontaneous.
How spontaneous? You just woke up, decided to just go?
Well, I got a scholarship for it, and they asked me if I wanted to do it, and I had to decide within 2 days.
2 days? That's the deadline?
That was my deadline, and I was like, all right. I didn't know what to do.
So what made you decide? What was the final straw, I guess?
Okay, my plan A after graduation was to travel the world with my best friend. That was the actual plan. And then COVID happened, obviously, and then the scholarship people were like, do you want to go abroad? And I was like, yeah, of course I want to. I've been wanting to. So that was my main reason. And I always wanted to go to an American college. I went to an American high school before and I wanted to experience the college life just for the whole spirit and the sports and the fun. So it was a quick decision.
Is it like how it is in the movies?
Well, I go to a community college, so it's less like the movies, but I've been to a friend's college before, and it's definitely like the movies. Maybe a bit more stressful, but it is.
Have you been to any sorority parties or fraternity parties?
Actually, yeah, my Halloween party was not really a frat party, not really sorority either. It was just a college party, but it was fun. Very, very messy though.
Yeah, I've heard. Where was it? Was it in a fraternity house?
Yeah, it was in the basement only because I think 3 people were underage and they were scared they would get caught. So that was a big issue. I was at the right driving one.
No, I've heard stuff about those houses that they're incredibly dirty and gross.
Oh no, it wasn't bad. It was a normal house. All good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, you did volleyball, right?
Yes, I joined the volleyball college team. And I have a volleyball jacket on right now, which you can't see.
How long was your volleyball season? Is it 2 months?
2 months, yeah. I thought it would be longer, but it was so short and went by so quick.
Have you always been playing volleyball?
No, I've never played before the tryouts ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude,
I was so surprised.
I've seen your videos, your highlight reels. I thought you've been playing for years.
Really?
Yeah.
No. The coach asked me on the first day too, and I was like, no, first day.
So he just came up to you and was like, oh, you should join the team?
No, I saw the tryouts and I wanted to play tennis because I played that as a kid a lot. And I saw the tryouts the night before and I was like, okay, maybe I should go just to be on a team. but I didn't think I would make the tryouts because they're so good. All of them have played for like 10 years. And then the coach was like, yeah, you'll be that position. And I was like, okay, what? That was cool.
So you had to learn everything about volleyball just on the first days?
I watched videos and I took notes and I like tried to study it. But my coach kind of expected me to know everything. And sometimes it was very upsetting because I'm also like German and I don't know all the terms. They said like, now do platform. And I'm like, what the heck is a platform? Like he would just expect me to know each and every like term of volleyball.
Mm-hmm. What was your favorite part about being on the team, would you say?
I loved playing like volleyball as a sport, but we were 9 girls, which is kind of a little for a team. They were so nice, and every time my coach would be like mad to me, they would cuddle me and they would like hype me up and say that I'm a good player, blah blah blah. Like I cried so many times after games, but they were always there. It was like the best time ever.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Did they know each other before you were on the team, or did the team kind of just happen this year?
No, it kind of just happened. Like none of each other knew each other. Does that make sense? Yeah.
But you never tried out for any other sport except volleyball?
No, because the only fall sports were tennis, but they didn't have a coach. And then volleyball, I think track too. I'm not sure. But I wanted to do volleyball or tennis, so that was quick.
When you were in Alabama, did you do any sports in the school?
No, and I regretted it. I wanted to be on the cheer team, but I went to the tryouts, and then there was this one girl, and she was like, what is she doing here? Like, she said that to a girl, and I was so sad. I turned around, and I was like, I met that girl afterwards, and she said that she didn't mean it like that, but it was awful.
Did she mean it? Oh, my God.
I don't know. Like, I became friends with a cheerleader, but that girl was mean.
Yeah, no.
So I didn't join that team. And there was nothing else I was interested to.
So for your high school exchange year, how was it? Was it through a program?
Yes, my current exchange is also through a program. So it's a German like study abroad or exchange program that you have to apply to. Okay.
And when you first came, did you have any culture shocks that just really stood out to you?
I always like tried to avoid that question because I never thought that I did. But I definitely had some culture shocks the past couple of months, like more than I had in Alabama, which is odd to me because the accent is so much worse there than here.
Oh, isn't it southern there? Like, yeehaw.
Yeah, it's
all the way.
Very southern. And I couldn't understand them at first, but like the food was a big culture shock. Also the water. Like the water tasted like a pool to me here.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a big tap water drinker.
I've heard that in Europe, I don't know if it's the same in Germany, but you can drink tap water and it's actually clean, right?
Yes, everywhere. Maybe not in France, not in all parts of Europe, but in Germany, everywhere. So that was very weird to me. And the whole food, that you could just go to a fast food place. I mean, it was cool, but it was very weird to me that you could get food within like so fast, like, you know?
What about the portions? Because for some restaurants, it's really like... Yeah.
Yes, the portions are so big. Like a normal medium or small milkshake here would be considered large over there.
Really?
Yes. And I was like, what is going on? Why is it so cheap? And why is it so big?
Yeah. What about the people though?
Okay, so that was a big thing because when I was in Alabama, I was 15. I was kind of like not really messing around with boys, but I had a lot of like contact to boys. More than girls, because the boys would just come up to me and be like, hey, you new, right? And I'm always like good with like all my friends are usually guys besides 2 girls. Like I'm really like chill with them. Oh, did you hear that?
Wait, hear what?
My laptop made a weird noise.
No, it's fine. It's all good.
Okay. Oh, and the boys were so different in the beginning. Like they acted so like sweet and they would sweet talk and like be a gentleman and stuff. But they would not be serious at any like, I don't know, they would not be serious about anything. They would just talk to like a lot of girls and then drop them. And I've never experienced it like that in Germany. And like the people here are very, very like sweet. They say like, "Hey, how are you?" and stuff. And I don't think they really care, but they're like overly sweet. And that's very different than Germany, because we wouldn't say, "Hey, how are you?" without meaning it.
What about smiling at people? Because I know in Russia, if you smile at somebody, it's a really weird thing. But here it's kind of, you're expected to.
Are you expected to, though?
I mean,
I'm not sure. Maybe in California. I don't think New Jersey people want you to smile at them. Like, I don't know. Like in my like small town in Germany, I always smile at people. But in big cities, you don't. That's just not okay.
What happens if you do? Is it just rude?
No, it's just weird. Like people like look at you and they're like, why is she smiling at me? So
yeah,
I definitely smile at people here too, but they don't do it back.
But do you feel like there are any differences between the people in Alabama versus the ones in New Jersey?
Yes. I'm not sure how to phrase this. I feel like the people in Alabama are very easygoing and very chill. They just like look at life like it's the greatest thing, which I loved. It was so cool. So like no problems in the world seemed to be a thing. Not in an ignorant way, just like in a good, positive vibes way. And the people here are more aware of certain things, I feel like of politics. They talk more about it, and I don't know how to explain that. They're just not as easygoing, maybe, but I like both ways. Does it make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. Because I feel like in New Jersey, it's kind of, I mean, I've been like a month or two ago, and it just kind of seems the pace is just faster, pace of life.
Yes, true. Like in Alabama, it was like everyone would come with their pickup trucks and like chill at the lake for like 12 hours. And here people rush into New York City or rush to the beach or whatever. And it seems very quick, like all of it. That's true.
Do people have a lot of trucks in Alabama? Because I've heard, but I didn't know for sure.
Yes, like every other guy had a truck. Always the Ford or the GMC. Yeah, those trucks. And here I haven't seen a single. Yeah, I have seen some, but not really. The cars are bigger here too. That was a culture shock. The cars are so big here. Everyone drives an SUV.
Oh yeah. Do you drive?
I do. I drive a small car though. Yeah.
What about mullets? Sorry, this is so random, but I'm just
that was very random. What do you mean? Like if are there
in Alabama? Because I feel like there would be.
Maybe now because it's been a trend on TikTok. Yeah. But I don't think it was back then. And I also didn't know what a mullet was back then, to be honest, when I was 15.
Yeah. Do you like mullets?
I don't know. They can look good, but I'm not really a fan.
Yeah. I feel like it's a very Southern thing.
Really?
Yeah. Because I've been, I guess in the past, I've talked to a lot of people from the South. And it's always like trucks, American flags, mullets, fishing.
But I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I've met more like Republicans here than in Alabama, which is
really
awesome. Yes.
Huh. That's kind of unexpected, honestly.
Yeah, right? I thought like here would be more Democrats, but here's definitely more than in Alabama.
But for your exchange year, you've been kind of documenting it on Instagram and on YouTube, right?
Yes.
What's it like balancing it all? Because especially with volleyball, because it's hours at a time.
That was a hot mess. Yeah, I wouldn't I have a management for social media, and we would sometimes be on a call, and I was like, I don't know how to manage this because I have volleyball to practice every day for 3 hours. I have games which take up to like 6 or 7 hours a day sometimes. And I also had social media. I have friends back home, friends here, family back home, family here. And that was so much. And also, I go to college. I have a full-time college. And they were just like, Jackie, I don't know how you do it and how you get enough sleep. It was so much. And sometimes it makes you lonely. I think you've talked about it, that sometimes success is lonely. And it was the same with that. It was very lonely sometimes.
Because also, when you're in exchange, you're away from your family and you don't see them as much as you want to.
Yeah, and the time difference is hard. It's 6 hours right now, and Alabama's 7. No, it's 5 right now because of daylight saving. But whenever I go to sleep, everyone else is asleep. So if I have a problem, if I'm upset, if I'm lonely, I cannot talk to anyone unless I open up to someone here. But I have a hard time opening up sometimes. Like I don't want to bother people with my feelings. So I'd rather talk to someone in Germany.
Yeah.
But they sleep. They're asleep.
Just wake them up.
Yeah, I wish.
How did your parents feel about you going off to the US?
I think the first time was worse than this time because now I'm 18 and back then I was 15.
Yeah.
And I know that my mom was having a hard time. She missed me a lot. And my dad did too, but I think my mom showed it more. And it was definitely a hard time. But
so now you're kind of more just living the adult life.
Yeah, basically. I'm treated like differently too because back then I lived in a host family and I was their kid. And now I'm just kind of a roommate. I'm still a part of the family, but I'm not a kid that they have to take care of and have to bring to places. So it's very different from Alabama.
Yeah, I bet. Would you want to continue an education in the US?
No.
Why not?
That sounds bad.
No, it doesn't. It's fine.
The system is so hard to explain to me, to us, for me, whatever, because at first we don't do multiple choice in Germany. We don't. We write essays in our exams. Our exams are like 3 to 6 hours long in high school.
For every class?
Yes, we have 14 classes in high school, if we want to or not. And we have, how many do you have? We have 5 that we take a certain final in. My 3 like main classes, I had to take a 6-hour final at the end. And that was my biggest grade. And it was so long. And like here, it's just like a test, like a multiple choice test. And like, I don't feel like you're actually learning how to understand the whole topic when you're just learning the multiple choice questions and applying, you know?
So would you say that classes are easier?
In a way, yes. And also you can cheat a lot, which is bad to say. Like you could not cheat whatsoever in Germany. It's not possible because you have to write an essay. But they're definitely easier, but a lot more time consuming sometimes. Because the assignments are so much.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's a lot of busy work?
Do you mean like assignments and just like copying mechanically?
Yeah, just assignments just to do it.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I feel like it's like that in school too. It just kind of transfers.
Wait, did you talk about, I don't know if you want to answer that, but you don't want to go to college, right?
No, I don't.
Is it because of that?
I mean, partly, yeah. Because my sister, she at first went to community college, like around the area, right? And then she said that it was really good because the teachers and other staff were really just focused on providing information and it was like concise. But then she went to UCI, which is a University of California university in Irvine. And it was just it was like a waste of time, basically, and money too. It's so expensive.
Yeah, college is free, basically, in Germany.
Is it?
Yes. And every time I'm here, I'm like, why do people pay so much money to go to college? And then the students don't even care about their education. Like some don't even come to class. I'm like, how does this work? It's so bad. I mean, you have to pay like a fee, but it's like $300 maybe.
In Germany?
Yeah, it's just for like taxes and stuff.
For a year? $300?
I think so. Or for a semester, but either way, it's not.
That's still under $1,000 a year.
Yeah, and then maybe some books, but it's so much better in my opinion than paying so much money to go to college.
No, here I think per year it's maybe $50,000.
Yeah,
for like a university.
And what for? Then you're in like student debt for the rest of your life, basically. No, not for the rest of your life, but for so long.
Yeah.
And I don't like the system at all. And I love the college life. I love the whole college vibe, but I don't like that system and the multiple choice questions. are also stupid.
Multiple choice questions.
Yeah.
Have you had to write any essays here?
Yes. And I was so confused because she gave it to us and she was like, yeah, you'll write an essay. And I was prepared for like 15 pages. I was so ready.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a half of a page. That's all she asked for.
Oh.
In like a whole exam. And I was like, what is going on? And we are supposed to write a research paper. And I've done that before. Mine was 25 pages long the last time I wrote one. And it had to be 6 pages long, this one. I was like, that's a joke. That's a whole joke.
That's so crazy hearing about the educational system in Germany, because it is so different than like what I grew up in with here.
Yeah, maybe it's also too hard because we can't choose our classes in Germany. We just have to everyone has to do math, everyone has to do German, English, whatever. And I love in America that you can choose like certain classes. Like in high school, I could have chosen pottery. I did pottery right now. I could have chosen pottery, dance, whatever. I love that. Like that everyone has their own talents that they can choose. Yeah, I like that so much.
Right now you're taking like psychology and sociology and those classes?
I also have nutrition and ceramics, which is just a fun class. But I love psychology and I'm a psychology major. But I'm so interested in nutrition too. So I'm very happy about that.
Psychology is really interesting. Like I feel like it is one of those subjects that just really gets you.
Yeah. And every time I learn something, I can apply it to my personal life or to a book or to a movie. And it's so interesting to learn about stress and motivation, emotion, anything. I love it. It's so interesting.
Yeah, I think it just really can help you, like you said, discover yourself even more.
Yeah, they always say we shouldn't apply it to ourselves. I don't know. Is it to or on ourselves?
To ourselves.
Okay, thank you. But I still do. I don't know.
Breaking all the rules.
Sure. Against the violations.
So, you're a psychology major right now, right?
Yes.
So what are you going to do next year? Do you have any plans for that?
Okay, so I actually just applied to a school in the Netherlands yesterday.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I won't know if I'm accepted until January, but I'm hoping to go there because getting into psychology, like in university in Germany, is way too hard. Like it's almost as hard as going into medical school.
Why? Is it just the requirements?
It's like a certain GPA that you have to have, and it's so high. I think one person in our whole class had that GPA.
How big is your class?
Like not big. I think it was like 60, 69, 67 people.
1 out of 69 people?
Yes. It's so hard to get in. So I applied to that university in the Netherlands and I'll see if I'm accepted.
I hope you are. Wishing you the best of luck.
Thank you. But it starts in September and I'm coming back on Christmas, like on Christmas Eve. And I want to go to Brazil and I want to visit my host family in Alabama during that time period.
Oh, do you guys keep in touch?
Yes. Actually, my friend and my host family just called me like 5 minutes before the podcast.
Really? That's so cute.
Yeah, I love them. They're so crazy though.
Why are they crazy? Like in a good way.
Okay, my host family in Alabama lived not on a farm, but kind of. Like we had cows, we had horses, we had a donkey, we had chickens. I think we had goats and kitten too, and dogs. And my host family was 2 parents and then 5 kids. Wow. 5 very cute kids that I love babysitting. And I also had a host sister from Brazil that also did an exchange. So it was very, very crazy. But
did you take care of the animals?
No. Sometimes I did, but they always said it's not my responsibility.
But you got to play with them, right?
Yes, I was riding the horses too.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I loved it. They were so cute. They were small though, very small.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Germany I had horses until like last year. my whole life, and they were as big as me. I'm 5'11", and their back was as big as me. And the horses here were so tiny. I think they were like ponies.
Pony. Oh, that's cute though.
Yeah, it was. My legs were basically on the floor though.
Just standing on the horse.
Yeah, basically.
So that's called equestrian sport or something, right?
Yes, but I think they did Western here. Like in Alabama, they did Western riding, and I did show jumping in Germany.
How long? When did you start doing that?
When I was 8, and I stopped when I was 17.
Why'd you stop?
It's a very competitive environment, and sometimes even like toxic, I would say. I loved my horses to death, but I could not bring up the time anymore, because sometimes I would be spending 5 to 6 hours just to take care of them, because I had 3 horses, and then we had 2 because we sold my pony because he was old and someone else took care of him. And what do I want to say? It was so time consuming. It took forever to like take care of them, and I was about to graduate and focus on school. So
in Germany, how many grades do you have, or classes, I guess?
Difficult. We have 12 if you do your A levels, basically. Like your A levels. But I had 13 because I had like a longer version of the A levels. But you can also graduate after 9th or 10th or 11th grade. It's very complex.
What are the A levels? Because I feel like it's also kind of the same in Britain, right?
Yeah, it's a British term, I think, the A levels. But it doesn't, there's no American way of saying it. Do you know what IB is?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the highest education that you can get from a high school, basically. Yeah.
So you got that?
Yes, in July.
How much time would you spend? Because you said you had 14 classes. How much time would you spend on average just doing homework every night?
That sounds bad, but I never did my homework.
Oh.
Because we never had to turn it in. It was more for ourselves. And I was a good student. I was a straight A student. And my teachers wouldn't want to listen to my homework because they knew I did it and they knew I was doing well in school. So they listened to other people's homework. Like they had to read it aloud. And I was never like called to do it. So I just stopped doing homework.
That's good. Is it like essays? Because you said they were reading it aloud.
Yeah, sometimes it was essays. Sometimes it was just like exercises, like in math or in chemistry. Of course, you don't write an essay in chemistry.
No.
Stuff like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, they never ask you to like give it to them. They just said, do it for yourself or don't, but you're going to fail the exam if you don't do the homework. Because we talked about it in class afterwards.
For high school, when you were in your high school exchange year, did you hear of the SAT and the ACT exams? Do you know what those are?
Yes, and I had to take it. I don't know why I had to take those. Both.
Oh.
Yeah.
How's that?
There was also the PSAT, right?
Oh, yeah.
I had to take 3 of them. And I also had to take a military exam. And the army came by and they were like, do you want to join the army? And then they asked me, and I'm like, sir, respectfully, I'm not even from your country. It was so bad. And they wouldn't believe me. And they were like, you can join the army still. You can fight for our country. I'm like,
fight for our country.
That's not my country. Yeah, but I had to take all of those tests. It was stupid.
What was the military exam? I've never heard of that.
I think it was combined with the SAT. Like if you had a certain score in like the technical part, I believe, they would let you go to the army. So nice of them.
So nice of them. So generous.
So generous of them, I know.
So because in Germany, you said your tests are like 4 to 6 hours long?
Only in the high A levels though. Like when you, the last 2 years of high school, basically. like the ones that count for your graduation.
So did it feel easier taking the SAT or the ACT?
No, because I sometimes didn't understand what they wanted from me. Like in the English, that was an English section. It was my first month of living in America. I barely knew like all of the English words, and I couldn't use a dictionary, and they were just like so complex words that an American would have to think about. And I was just like, they're like, what do they want from me?
No, for SAT, they have it's the SAT words and whatever, and people don't actually use them in real life. You just study them just for the exam, and then that's it.
Yeah, we studied them over and over again, and I still couldn't remember all of them because there were so many.
I mean, it's kind of useless. Some of them.
Yeah. Also, the scientific part, I didn't understand why we would just read and copy stuff. I didn't understand the SAT.
Yeah. But with English, when did you start learning it?
In third grade. We have to learn it in third grade. And then we pick up another language in sixth grade, which is either Latin, French, sometimes Spanish. Yeah.
Which one did you pick up?
French.
3 languages.
My family, I don't know French too well, but my family goes to France every year. So I wanted to learn it.
Your host family right now?
No,
or
my
your family. Oh, okay.
My family. Very good. Yeah. Wait, have you ever... Sorry to interrupt.
No, go
have you
ahead,
ever been to Russia?
Yeah, I mean, I was born there.
No, I mean afterwards, like going back to visit.
No.
Do you want to?
I mean, I'd want to take my kids there because I want to show them like the architecture and all the beauties of the country, but I would not want to go back there too. No.
Do you not like it there?
I mean, it's just very, very different.
In what way? Now I want to know.
I feel like I'd just be a tourist because I can't smile there. Also, like the whole situation with the government, you know. And also, I mean, I don't really have too much family there. Just like distant relatives.
So you feel more American than Russian?
I mean, yeah, but then also not completely American because some things just still amaze me to this day.
So many Americans have explained that to me. Like, I have an Indian American friend who's like from India, not the Native Americans, and she explained to me that she lived her whole life in America, and she can't identify with America, but also not with India.
Yeah, it's kind of like a middle thing.
So you have the same?
I mean, I guess so. But I mean, Russian American sounds weird. Like I'm Russian American.
Why? I think it's cool. I have a lot of Russian friends here.
Do you?
Yeah. They never speak Russian to each other, but they're Russian.
Have you met any German people?
Actually, yes. Do you know Hoboken?
No.
Okay, it's like close to New York City. It's in New Jersey. It's very cool there. We went food hopping there, and we talked to a woman, and she was like, "You seem German," and then she just randomly started talking German to me. It was the coolest thing ever. I loved it.
You seem German?
Yeah, I was like, how do I seem German? I'm wearing like American college apparel. How?
If you see German people, can you recognize them? Just like by the way they look?
No. I
don't
think so.
Because I feel like I don't know if it's, but like with Russians, you just kind of, they have like a certain look in their eyes. I don't know how to explain it.
Yes. Yeah. No, I don't. Usually on vacation in like Europe, I can tell because there's Germans everywhere. You cannot avoid Germans. There's Germans everywhere. But I haven't really seen any in America. Maybe it's also because it was a travel ban until today.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe
when
that's
do you
why.
Go back from your exchange year?
I come back on Christmas Eve, like on the in the morning.
Like a semester?
It's only a semester.
Are you going to feel sad?
Yes and no. I was devastated when I had to go back from Alabama. I was miserable for like a month straight. I was like very, very, very miserable. But I don't think I'm going to be that way in the next 2 months, because this is not like, how do I explain this? When I lived in Alabama, I had to build my whole life. I had friends there. I had family there. I loved going to school there. I even had a boyfriend, an American boyfriend.
Really?
Yeah, no good. But right now, I don't really have like the closest friends here yet. I've found some really good people, but it's all not as like, I don't have to build a life here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's only for a semester.
And for Alabama, it was a whole year, right?
It was a whole life, I feel like. So, yeah.
Would you ever want to do exchange like anywhere else?
Yes, I would go anywhere. I would go to Bali, Brazil, anywhere. I would do it again.
That's so cool.
Would you?
I mean, I was thinking about it because I feel like being an exchange student is so cool. Like, it just...
Yes.
Because you get to experience it. But then also host families. You never know which one you're going to get, you know?
But that's the exciting part. One of my friends, I'm still friends with 5 girls that I went to New York City with. And that girl changed her host family 3 times.
You can change your host family?
Yeah, you have to if it doesn't work out.
No, yeah.
So that's good. The organization takes care of you. But she changed her host family 3 times because it wouldn't work out, I think.
3 times?
Yes, it was so bad. I felt so bad for her. But she had the greatest time and she learned so much from it. And I think that you can only grow from, not only, but you can grow from bad periods in your time. No, bad periods in your life better than from good periods in your life.
That's very inspiring. I love that.
Thank you.
Are there any other subjects you're interested in studying besides psychology?
Nutrition. I love learning about nutrition. I'm so interested in it. I just love it. But I don't think I would want to be like only a dietarian or like nutritionist. Like, I want to combine it with psychology, which is kind of my like job dream, I guess.
So to be a psychology nutritionist.
I kind of want to be like a therapist, but to show people how to manage like a good and healthy life. Like, I want to show them how they can work out, how they can sleep, how they can reduce stress, how they can get better mentally, and also with their nutrition to just become like a good person. If that makes sense.
That's so cool. I love that.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Would you want to pursue social media as well?
Yes. Yeah, I think so. I grew up with it. I started when I was 13, so probably.
When you were 13?
Yeah.
What made you start it? Because you started off of YouTube, right?
I wanted to film challenges with friends, and my friends didn't want to film challenges with me, so I filmed videos. I filmed videos by myself. Yeah, but that's how I started.
Do you remember the moment where it really like started taking off?
I think it was when I was 15, like half a year before my exchange year. And during my exchange year, it went off like very rapidly. So I think that's when it happened.
How did it feel like? Because I feel like it's so cool when people like start to watch you, you know?
Well, the biggest part for me was that the bullying stopped. I was like really, like, people bullied me in school, like mostly cyber bullied me, but I knew who the people were. I knew when I came into class, this person just made a hate account for me. So the bullying stopped as soon as I got bigger. And that was, I think, the best part of getting bigger.
Yeah.
And until this day, I cannot realize that I have subscribers. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But in my head, I have like 25,000 people watching me. Like, maximum. Yeah, not more. I'm like, that's it. That's the most.
Imagine seeing all those people in a room, though. Wouldn't that be crazy? That's like a whole concert and more.
Yeah. 200,000 people? No. I cannot imagine.
That's insane.
Yeah. I always wonder why people are interested in me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like I get what you mean.
I'm just a person. Like, crazy too. I can't think too much about it because I cannot wrap my mind around it.
Do the people that you go to school with right now, do they know?
In college here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they found out. I couldn't really like hide it because when I meet people, I don't tell them. I never tell people that I do social media because I separate my life very strictly from social media. I don't show friendships. I don't show family. I show my brothers, but I don't show like any relationships. So when I met the people here, they found out after like a month and they're like, Jackie, why didn't you tell us? And we're so chill about it. But I have made so many bad experiences with people finding out that I do social media that I don't really want to tell people anymore.
Like what kinds of bad experiences, if you're comfortable sharing?
I remember once I was at a party in Germany and I was just talking to like guys at a table, and then this one girl pulled up her phone and she pulled up Instagram and she was like, oh, that's her. And everyone, all the girls just started going to her table and looking at the phone. And all of them turned around at once, stared at me, like very obviously. You couldn't have made it any more obvious. And they were just staring at me. And I was like, what did I do? And I just looked at them. And they were all like giggling and laughing. And it broke my heart. Like it was so bad.
It's
and I
so
just left
weird.
the party.
Yeah. When people like play, because I've had that happen recently. Like
really?
She just started playing like my videos. But then, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's fine if the intent is not bad, but when it is, it's just like, why? You know?
Yeah, no. I remember in ninth grade, actually, not at all. A person in my class went to the teacher and we were in the technical room, so like where the computers are. And they said, can I go to the like main computer to show it to everyone? And then she pulled up my video and it was so mean. I was just sitting there. I wanted to die.
That's just weird. I don't get why people do that.
It was also very like humiliating.
Humiliating?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that word.
Of course.
That word.
Just fan behavior, honestly.
I don't know. That was mean.
Yeah.
Wait, do people at school still talk about it a lot?
For me?
Yeah.
I mean, when I remember the first day I came into class, I heard like whispers. Just whispers. And it was, I mean, I guess it's like fine because I don't really talk to that many people at my school. Like I just kind of keep to myself a lot more. So, but yeah, I mean, I just know when people know.
Do you have like the very popular kids at your school that are mean, or is that just...
No, that's actually not a thing. I mean, I guess maybe in some places it is, but I feel like that's just like that in movies when they have their own like cliques and whatever.
That's true. Yeah, we had some of those like rich popular girls in my school in Alabama, but when it's so sad, like when you look deeper into their lives, it's very messed up. Like, it's not all fun and glamour and stuff. It's very messed up.
Do you see like the popular kids, I guess, at your college, or is that not a thing?
No, that's not a thing here.
Yeah.
Everyone is so anonymous.
Anonymous.
Yeah, no one really like knows who someone is, and no one really like cares either. I could come there in a bikini and no one would care. So
I feel like at college people really do mind their business more because they're just more focused, I guess, on their education or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. And you have so many different classes with different people, so it doesn't really matter whether you see the person once a week or not.
Yeah. Do you find that, I don't know, it's kind of a personal question, so don't answer if you don't comfortable, but I've seen a bunch of TikToks when college just started. People are like, oh, it's so hard to make friends at college. Do you feel like that's true where you're at?
I think it's harder when you go to community college than like an actual college where you live, because the people go to their classes and then they leave. They don't stay on campus. So you kind of have to make an effort. Every person I've talked to and like been like, hey, who are you? Blah, blah, blah. They were so shy. They would have never spoken to me. And I'm a shy person sometimes too, but you definitely have to go out of your way to talk to people.
But also for community college, because I've taken like a bunch of community college classes. They're all kinds of different people, right? Just all ages and
Yeah, I have one girl in my psychology class, and I thought that she was like 21.
Uh-huh.
And she talked about her 11-year-old son the whole time.
No, oh, seriously?
And I was like, what? Did she get pregnant when she was 10? And then one day she said that she just turned 33, and that calmed me down.
Uh-huh.
So there's all different kind of people, but it's very cool. And you can make friends easily when you're an outgoing person. You just kind of have to like push yourself.
Yeah, no, but I definitely like that they're just all kinds of different people in the classes.
Yeah, that's true. And it's also weird because sometimes there's so many girls and you're like, who would be a good friend? Like I sometimes ask myself, like, how do you find out if someone is a good friend?
How do you find out if someone is a good friend?
I just talk to them, and if I like talked about the same stuff, if we talked about the stuff that we both interested in and we just like clicked, then it was obvious. But if it was just like superficial, then I wouldn't consider them a potential friend.
No, yeah. The American, hey, how's it going?
Yeah. I adapted that one, and it's weird to me sometimes.
So you do that too now?
Yeah, I love it. It's so nice. And like it's so like, hey, how are you? Like it's sometimes fake, but it's so it seems so happy, and you can get like easily into a conversation, even if it's small talk with someone. I'm not a fan of small talk, but I like conversations.
But for the, you know how it's like, hey, how are you doing? Nobody ever says anything besides good. Like it's always like, oh, good, how are you?
Yeah. I realized that because I have a German friend here who is also an exchange student, and she once was very miserable, and she said, or not very miserable, but she was having a rough day, and she talked to the grocery store person, like the person at the cashier, and they were like, hey, how are you? And she said, I'm having a rough day. And the person was so shocked. The person was like, oh, what happened? And she didn't expect it. So it was so funny.
Is that normal? Is that more normalized, I guess, in Germany when you ask people how they are? To just be honest?
You don't ask people how they are.
Oh, okay.
You ask your friends, and then you want an honest response. But you don't ask, like, your teacher. You would never do that. Like, please don't.
Is that just rude?
No, it's just, I guess it's like a norm that you don't really do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. You just don't do it. It's not rude. It's just weird, I guess.
But when you meet a new person, because here you can just, I feel like, come up to anybody and be like, hey, how are you doing? And then you just kind of become friends. What's it like in Germany to just meet new people? How do you do that?
You kind of have to be creative. Like sometimes when you're at a party, you can't go, hey, how are you? You have to be like, yeah, the music is loud here. Or you just have to say something to start a conversation, which is sometimes hard. That's why people open up less than in America.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's it.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, you just have to like make up something to talk to someone.
The sky is so blue. What do you think?
Yeah, the weather is nice today, right?
So you can't just be like, hey, how are you? Is that just like weird?
Yeah. That's weird.
That's really interesting. Wow.
Could you do that in Russia?
No. You could never be like, hey, what's up? No, they're going to probably like call the police on you if that happens.
What?
No, for real. Because my sister, she went to like a supermarket and she was talking to the cashier. Like not talking, she was just there. Then I guess she was feeling extra happy. So she was like, hey, how are you doing? And then the lady, she's like, ask me that again. I'm going to call the police.
What?
Yeah.
No, I might not go to Russia. Just kidding.
I think you should visit if you get the chance. Just because the museums, 10 out of 10.
Yeah. No, my grandma lived there before. So she just tells me to go to what is it called? St. Petersburg.
That's where I'm from.
St. Really?
Petersburg. Yeah.
Yeah, she always wants me to visit that.
I think it's the best city in Russia. Unpopular opinion.
Good to know. Yeah. Is there any like places in Europe that you want to visit like really badly?
I actually do want to go to Germany, and I want to go to I want to do a Europe, not backpacking because I feel like that's a lot of work. So a lot of respect for people who do it. but just definitely like a Europe trip for I don't know how many months.
You could do easily like a train trip because train rides are not that expensive in Europe, and they go everywhere. So
yeah, they're trains.
yeah, so many. Germans love. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you can go first. How good?
Have you ridden a train here?
No, they scare me. They're extremely loud and they seem very old, even though they're not. The subways seem fine in New York City. I haven't been on one because they kind of freak me out. But no, I haven't been on one yet.
But I know there are a lot of trains in Europe for sure.
Germans love to get mad about the trains being late in Germany. It's the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, they're always late. And we're just like, oh, great. They're late again.
How late? Like 30 minutes?
Between 5 and 90 minutes. It could be anything.
90 minutes?
It could be anything. But it's not bad. I feel like we don't appreciate our train system enough.
So when you prepare like to go somewhere via train, do you have to be there, I guess, an hour in advance just to make sure? Or
no, you go there and you expect it to be on time. And if it's not on time, you get mad because you're German and you have to get mad.
Love that.
Isn't that a Russian thing too? That you just get mad at like things and just complain about everything?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we love doing that.
That's good to know.
Yeah. I guess we can't do anything against it.
I feel like it's also the same in New York with subways. Like I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, maybe it's because New York is so international. Maybe that's why.
How many times have you been? Because I know you went several, right?
Yeah, I don't know how many times. Probably like 3 times.
What was your favorite thing that you did there?
Okay, that was the coolest night ever. My host brother and I he works at a car dealership, so he gets cars all the time just to drive them and take pictures of them. And we drove, do you know the Porsche 911?
I think I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's a really, really pretty car. And he called a lot of his friends, and then 150 or I think even 200 Porsches drove into New York City at night. It was so fun. It was so loud. It was so cool. It was crazy. And we just stood in front of the Times Square, and the police blocked the road for us just so we could take a picture with 150 Porsches.
Do you have a picture from that?
I have so many pictures.
Really?
Yeah, I can send them to you. It was crazy. It was the best thing.
That's so cool. It sounds like not even a movie. It just sounds beyond that.
Yeah, it was. I woke up the next morning and I thought it was a dream. And then I checked my phone and I was like, what?
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I loved it. I'm not a big city person, but New York City is so beautiful.
Would you want to live there at some point, just for some time? Why?
No. No. Yeah, no. Cities overwhelm me. I'm a big nature person, and cities and I are not friends.
But I mean, there's Central Park in New York.
You know, that's not nature for me.
No, just like in the middle of the buildings.
Yeah, right. Would you move to New York City?
I want to live there for some time because I feel like it's just so, but like for 3 months at most.
Really? Maybe I should consider it. But I'm more the New Jersey person, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like it's calmer than New York.
Yeah. Is LA overrated?
Yes. I mean, okay, there are like different sides of it. There are people who actually grew up in Los Angeles and they like go to work and, you know, just do regular people things. And then there's like the influencer LA.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to go to LA.
I think you should. Because downtown, it's really pretty.
Really? I want to go to California a lot because the people there seem very, very like happy and chill, but also very open to the world.
You should go.
Okay, I will.
But let me know when you do.
I'll just visit you the whole time. Just kidding.
And you also have to go surfing because I feel like that's a very like California thing, especially.
Like surfing?
Surfing.
Yeah, I want to. I wanted to do it here too, but the waves were so tiny.
Yeah. No, in California, I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah. Do you know how to surf?
I mean, I took like one lesson, but I have a friend. He was like, we were just talking, and he was like, well, I just came back from surfing, and we were at school, and I was like, when did you do it? He's like, oh, just before school, so casually.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Imagine. Yeah, I might plan to live in California for a while after my exchange.
No, it's a really nice place, I feel like, especially Southern California.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What's like the most beautiful like village, not or like township, not really city?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think because I live in Orange County, so obviously I'm biased, but I feel like Orange County as a whole, because the ocean's really close, like it's really pretty.
Orange County is the only thing I've ever heard of South California.
I mean, it makes sense.
Like that's the only thing I ever hear of.
Because there's there a lot of beaches, and they're really, really beautiful.
Oh gosh, yeah, you make me want to go.
What have you heard of?
Laguna Beach.
Yes,
I've heard a lot about that.
That's my favorite place.
Really?
Yes.
There's so many people that talk about it on like online.
No, it's the best, honestly.
Okay, if I want to move there for a while, I'll ask.
Okay. No, you for sure should. For sure.
Okay, I will. Yes.
Okay, I feel like we've talked a lot.
Yeah, but it was so easy, you know?
Yeah. No, I don't want this to end because it's so nice.
Yeah, I was so nervous.
I'm sorry.
And it's also not my language, so sometimes I mess up things like the humiliating. Yeah, it's so difficult.
Your English is great. It's really good.
Thank you. That's nice.
Because I feel
people
like a lot
mock
of
me.
They what?
They mock me.
Because of what?
Yeah, my coach would like mock me sometimes because I once said like insult in a really weird way, and he would make fun of me for it, and I was like, "What? How many languages do you speak, sir?"
No, for real, please. For real. But also with the way you speak English, it's so clean.
Really?
I know a lot of people, like people whose first language is English, they say like all the time, and then it's like you know.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like it's so messy, but thank you. I appreciate it.
It is messy, but yours is just like perfect speech.
No, I mean mine is messy.
No, not at all.
That's so weird. Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course.